The ending of Stranger Things is far more complicated than it first appears. At first, it feels simple. The story ends, the screen fades out, you are told this is the finale. But then, strange things start happening. Deleted scenes begin to surface. Behind-the-scenes footage starts leaking online. The creators of the show, the Duffer Brothers, give new interviews that quietly change how the ending should be understood. Whiteboards appear in photos, covered in scene ideas that were never filmed. An official documentary confirms that entire storylines were planned, discussed, and then cut. And one extremely important detail, known by only 3 people, was intentionally kept secret. If you thought the ending was easy to understand, it wasn't. Eleven's fate was debated again and again. It was rewritten, it was hidden behind uncertainty, and a Steven Spielberg-style storytelling choice was used to hide something most viewers completely missed. If you don't notice this, the finale doesn't fully make sense. This story connects deleted scenes, secret interviews, and the uncomfortable truth behind the ending. When you look at everything together, layer by layer, the picture changes. Once you see what was removed, what was protected, and what was never meant to be explained, the ending feels very different. Over the past few days, more deleted scenes and new information about the Stranger Things Season 5 finale have appeared. These new details are changing how fans understand the ending. The Duffer Brothers gave another long interview, and this time they went much deeper. They talked openly about different plans they once had for Eleven and what they originally imagined for the final moments of the show. They even hinted at what could be considered the true ending of the story. At the same time, many fans believe they have discovered clues pointing to a secret 9th episode, one that takes place after the finale. This idea is called the conformity gate theory. According to this theory, Netflix may be hiding an extra chapter of the story. There's a lot to unpack here, and the situation is much more layered than it looks at first. What's especially interesting is that the Duffers may have accidentally, or maybe on purpose, revealed the real ending during this interview. When you carefully piece together what they said, it becomes clear that we actually understand Eleven's fate much better than most people realize. Still, the conformity gate theory deserves to be examined. If you've seen other huge series endings like Game of Thrones Season 8 or Lost, this kind of fan reaction should feel familiar. Whenever a massive show ends and fans feel confused or emotionally unsettled, theories explode. People start talking about alternate endings, missing episodes, and secret footage. This happens every time. It's almost a tradition, and honestly, it can be fun. So when conformity gate theories flooded social media after the Stranger Things finale, it wasn't surprising at all. This reaction is normal. Just wait, when Avengers Secret Wars comes out, the same thing will happen. Fans will question every frame and debate who really survived. In Stranger Things, that question focuses on one character above all others: Eleven. Recently, new behind-the-scenes footage appeared showing Eleven jumping out of the back of a truck and running toward a nearby store. The source of the footage isn't totally clear, but what matters more is Netflix's response, or lack of one. Netflix has been very quick to remove leaked finale footage in recent weeks, but this clip is still online. That is important. Netflix, the cast, the crew, and even the Duffers have been openly sharing behind-the-scenes content since the show ended. That suggests Netflix is comfortable with these materials being public now. In that context, it makes sense that this clip wasn't removed. But this clip should not be treated as proof that Eleven was always meant to survive. When you look closely, it's likely footage from the Iceland sequence, the one tied to the 3 waterfalls that Mike mentions during the Dungeons & Dragons epilogue. That scene exists in a strange space. It is partly real and partly symbolic. The footage likely shows them filming a version of Eleven escaping toward that location. It does not confirm her final fate. So this leak alone does not prove anything. What matters far more is what the Duffers said in interviews. In a longer interview released separately, they talked in detail about whether Eleven lived or died and what they personally consider to be the real interpretation. Their tone was hopeful, not clear. Hopeful. They described the ending as Mike receiving a kind of sign from Eleven, not a reunion, not proof, just a suggestion that their story might not be over, that maybe someday they could find each other again. Originally, the ending was not meant to be this unclear. The Duffers confirmed in early drafts, Eleven survived openly. She reunited with Mike in the group. The story ended clearly, no questions. But that version didn't feel right. A happy ending felt too safe. A tragic ending felt too final. So they chose something harder, ambiguity, an ending that stays with you, an ending that keeps the story alive in your mind. That ambiguity created theories like conformity gate. But ambiguity does not mean a secret episode exists. There is no real evidence of a hidden 9th episode. In today's world of leaks and marketing, a secret like that could not stay hidden. If it existed, we would know. What conformity gate really shows is how hard it is to say goodbye. Fans aren't just questioning the ending, they're struggling to let go of a world they lived in for nearly 10 years. The Duffers have confirmed that the Stranger Things universe will continue through animated shows and live-action spin-offs, but the core story, Eleven, Mike, Hawkins, and the original group, is over. The behind-the-scenes footage and deleted ideas don't point to a conspiracy. They show a creative process full of changes, rewrites, and hard decisions. And that brings us to the real inspiration behind the ending, extraterrestrial. The Duffers openly said they wanted the ending of Stranger Things to feel like E.T. Hopeful, emotional, but not complete. That is the blueprint for Eleven. A dead character cannot be contacted. Hope only works if survival is possible.
There are also visual clues. In Mike's room, Eleven's photo is placed near his bed. That suggests she still exists in his life, and nearby is an E.T. figure. That placement is intentional. E.T. is about separation, not erasure. Eleven's ending is not about death. It's about distance. It's about growing up. It's about love changing shape. That's why the ending feels quiet. That's why it lingers. During interviews, the Duffers confirmed that only Millie Bobby Brown and possibly Sean Levy know the full truth. They even paused an interview to text Millie and remind her not to reveal it. They were smiling, laughing, protecting the mystery. If Eleven had died for sure, there would be no reason for secrecy. The ending was designed to make fans ask one question: do you believe? Not do you know? Believe. Conformity gate grew out of that belief. Netflix notifications, strange metadata, and a behind-the-scenes documentary releasing January 13th all added fuel to the fire. But just like after Game of Thrones, the truth is simpler. There is no secret episode 9. There is only a story that chose hope over certainty. And maybe that's the real ending. Not a hidden chapter, but a signal that refuses to fade. So now that everything is on the table, the deleted scenes, the interviews, the whiteboards, the Spielberg inspiration, the secrecy, the ambiguity, and the theories, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The ending of Stranger Things was never meant to be solved like a puzzle. It was meant to be felt. That's why so many people walked away uncomfortable. That's why some fans felt confused instead of satisfied. That's why debates exploded overnight. The finale didn't give answers, it gave space. And space is dangerous, because when people care deeply about a story, they rush to fill that space with meaning. But here's the important thing to understand. The Duffers did not fail to explain the ending. They refused to explain it. That choice wasn't lazy, it wasn't accidental, it wasn't the result of cuts or chaos or mistakes. It was deliberate, carefully controlled, protected all the way to the final frame. The story of Stranger Things began as a love letter to childhood, to friendship, to growing up too fast, to learning that sometimes the scariest thing isn't monsters, but change and endings. So it makes sense that the final message of the show wouldn't be loud, it wouldn't be explosive, it wouldn't be wrapped neatly with a bow, because real life doesn't work that way. People don't always get goodbye scenes, friends drift apart, paths split. Love doesn't always vanish, but it doesn't always stay close either. Sometimes it just moves farther away, still real, still meaningful, but no longer visible. That is what 11's ending represents. Not death, not disappearance, but distance. And distance is harder to accept than loss, because distance still carries hope. Hope that something might happen later, hope that one day, somehow, contact will be made again. That's why the ending lingers. That's why it refuses to leave your mind. That's why the final shot doesn't feel like an ending at all. It feels like a signal. The Duffers didn't want to tell you what to think, they wanted to ask you a question. Do you believe? Not did she survive, not will they reunite, but something deeper. Do you believe that stories can continue even when you stop watching? Because once you accept that idea, the finale changes completely. There doesn't need to be a secret episode 9. There doesn't need to be a hidden scene showing a reunion. There doesn't need to be confirmation. The meaning exists whether it's shown or not. That's why the secrecy mattered so much. That's why only a few people know the full truth. That's why explaining it outright would have destroyed its power. The moment certainty replaces belief, the magic disappears. And that's also why Conformity Gate exists. Not because Netflix is hiding something, but because the audience isn't ready to let go. When a story matters this much, people don't want closure. They want continuation. They want reassurance. They want proof that the world they invested years of emotion into didn't simply end. So they search, they analyze metadata, they dissect interviews, they pause frames, they connect dots that may or may not exist, not because they're wrong, but because they care. And that might be the strongest proof of all, that Stranger Things succeeded. A story that truly fails is forgotten. A story that truly ends fades away. But this one didn't. It sparked obsession, debate, emotion, theories, hope. It refused to go quietly. And that might be the most honest ending the show could have chosen. Because Stranger Things was never about answers, it was about belief. Belief in friendship, belief in connection, belief that even when people are separated, they are not erased. So when you think back to the finale now, don't ask yourself what you saw, ask yourself what you felt. Did the ending feel empty, or did it feel unresolved on purpose? Did it feel like something was missing, or did it feel like something was waiting? Because those are not the same thing. And now the question turns to you. Do you believe 11 survived, living somewhere unseen, still part of the world even if she's not in frame? Or do you believe the ambiguity itself is the ending? There is no wrong answer. That's the point. The Duffers didn't hand you the truth. They handed you a choice. And now the story lives wherever that choice leads. If this video changed the way you see the Stranger Things ending, even a little bit, then you're not alone. This story was designed to be talked about, debated, and reinterpreted long after the screen went dark. So now I want to hear from you. Do you believe 11 survived, or do you think the ending is meant to remain forever unresolved? Comment yes if you believe, comment no if you don't. And if you've noticed details, interviews, or clues that others may have missed, share them below. This story is bigger than one interpretation, and the most interesting conversations always happen when fans compare perspectives.
If you want more deep dives like this, connecting hidden details, creator intent, and the emotional truth behind major endings, make sure to like the video and subscribe. More content like this is coming, and the next one may change how you see another iconic ending entirely. Because some stories don't end when the credits roll. They end when we stop believing. And Stranger Things, it never asked you to stop.